Hello and welcome back to the Final Flight podcast. Myself, James, is here tonight with Joe and Rich. And we do have a special guest tonight, but his Wi-Fi is currently dropping out a little bit, so he's going to join us as soon as he can. But it is Jack from Racing Interest, so looking forward to him jumping on. So, boys, we're looking forward to a big weekend, the Betfair Chase weekend over at Haydock. We've also got good racing over at Ascot. The 1965 Chase and some other good races. And we've also got a couple of nice grade ones over in Ireland that we're going to cover and just have a little look through and a little chat through. I know there'll be a few short price favourites, but some nice big named horses coming out for us to talk about throughout the whole weekend. It's a decent weekend. Are you boys looking forward to it? I'll come to you first, Joe. I mean, it's a pretty decent weekend in terms of races. A few favourites to take on. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, 100%. Last weekend, I was looking forward to the racing, but I was a bit gutted, Rich having 2 days at Cheltenham and you off to Wetherby. Roles reversed this weekend, so I'll be off to Haydock. Can't wait. Yeah, some good racing all over. Like you say, we've got Ascot, Ireland. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, just looking back to last weekend, I mean, Rich, you went to Cheltenham and I went to Wetherby. Wetherby was a little bit cold than I was hoping for, but it wasn't too bad. Cheltenham, you had a good time and we tipped a few good winners up on that Friday, didn't we? Manila, Miss Island. Did you have a couple of winners as well? Did you enjoy it, mate? What were it like?
No, it was good. It's been a while since I've been down to Cheltenham, so it was a good meeting. Had a few winners on course, held my own. Bit jealous that Joe's off to see the best stayer in the UK at the weekend. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, I've not much to say on that, but we'll definitely get onto that later. And obviously, Jack's going to join us as soon as his Wi-Fi is sorted in the Christmas grotto. Right, so what we're going to do then first is we're going to roll straight into it. In fact, before we do mention it, I'll just do a quick mention. Obviously, the Cheltenham Anti-Post show, we had Daryl Jacob on. That were a real success. It was buzzing to have him on. He brought some really good insight. And we obviously do have the subscriber challenge competition. So make sure you go back to that video, put in the comments your first 5 selections. We can add them to the spreadsheet. And the prize is it's going to be a bundle. Now, I'm not going to get this wrong here. So I've got a nice bundle. We're going to use Hacked Up Racing. You're going to get I'm going to do it again. Look, a woolly hat of your choice, a mug of your choice, coffee. What they call them? What they call them? What they call it? A coaster. That's it. A coaster of your choice. I'm doing it again. And a Constitution Hill racing pin from Horse Racing Pins as well. I think there was a pair of socks as well of your choice. So it's a decent little prize. It's nothing major, but it's just a bit of fun. And so get your teams in there. So now I've done butchering that. Let's crack on. So we're going to kick off the preview with Haydock on Saturday. And we're going to go to the 115, which is the Betfair Exchange Handicap Hurdle. And there's some decent horses in here. There's Park Hill Dancers coming in for the Henderson team. James Bowen taking the ride. I think obviously Nico's over at Ascot for Shishkin, so he's not going to be riding for Henderson at Haydock. Karen Funnock is obviously the rider. Daryl Jacob, our special guest last week. We've also got another special guest coming next week. I'll get to that later as well. And Fingles Hill, Park Anarcade for the Simon Near team again. Latrell La de Constance. I'll come to you first, Joe. So as you're going to Haydock, who's going to be the first winner of the weekend, mate? Fill your boots.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be the first winner, but I'm going to call him our boy, Daryl Jacob. I've butchered this name before. Carnuffolk.
It's Carnfunnock.
Carnfunnock, right.
That's the one, boom.
Good form as a novice in Ireland. I think, to be fair, when we spoke to Daryl, I think the ground is going to be quite firm.
I think it'll be good to soft, but I think Jack lives not too far, but I don't think it's currently good to soft, or potentially a little bit soft, but it's good to rain a little bit tomorrow, but I don't think it'll be a lot. I think you'll be looking at soft ground, but not too bad. I
looked at the weather, and Jack said they've had like an hour of rain, and there's not any rain planned for tomorrow. But obviously, we know Daryl's looking forward to him. He's won over 2 mile 3 before. His last trip was over 3 mile at Perth in a listed event. Come behind Giovinco. I just don't think he got that trip at all. Drops back down to the 2 mile 3. Daryl seems to think that he's improved and he'll improve again. Back down to his, his last winning trip. I quite like this one, to be honest. He's definitely up there. Is he carrying? Well, he's not. No, he's getting a bit away from a few. But yeah, think it's a tricky race again to start off the day. Well, we won't start off the day, but it starts off our sort of program tonight. I think it is pretty tough. Obviously, Parkhill Dancer, a very good horse, won 2 this season. So we'll see, mate. We'll see. Obviously, Can Funnock's first time out this season, so he's bound to improve, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Daryl Jacobs said he was looking forward to this ride. I mean, I don't think he's got a chance. I mean, I quite like Parkhill Dancer. I know, obviously, you're risking a couple off a break here, but I just think, to be fair, looking at the weather, the more it dries up, the better it'll be for this horse. Because it's got good form on good ground. Won his last 2 races. Last time was by 4 lengths against a horse called Midnight Ginger. Isn't a bad horse, but was favourite. Nico was on, but James Bowen obviously is riding pretty well at the moment. So I think I'd probably side with Parkhill Dancer. It is a bit of a tentative selection because obviously, like you say there's a couple coming here off long breaks, 213 days, 181 days, that sort of thing. And I do think there's a couple of horses in here that maybe wanted it a bit softer. And I've just had a little check again at the forecast, and you're right, that due maybe a tiny bit of rain tonight.
Yeah,
and that's about it. But I mean, what are your thoughts, Rich? I mean, I'm quite surprised how we kind of went from the start of the week soft to heavy. Suddenly, we're looking at a good to soft Haydock instead. It's going to kind of throw it out a little bit, don't you think?
It is. I mean, it'll suit one main player later on in the card, that's for sure. But going back to this race, yeah, I mean, we had Dowell on, and this was the ride that he said he was looking forward to. So, who am I to judge? And I'm going to stick with Dowell and go for Can Funnock. I'd look into his form. I mean, he beat Better Days Ahead, who I think is potentially going to win this weekend. He finished 3rd to Facile Vega as well in the bumper days. So he's been racing against some decent opposition. And yeah, come on, Dowell, get him off the board tomorrow on Saturday.
Yeah, so obviously, any guests we get on, whatever horse they say, we're just going to follow them blind. That's what I like to see. Right, so Jackie's finally here. Racing Interest. How are you, Jack, mate? You finally sorted the Wi-Fi out then?
I think so.
Miles better. Miles better.
Yeah, I had a bit of a move about in the house, so I'm setting myself in my own little office up. I did buy an internet booster off Amazon, but clearly not working. So I'll see how it goes. It feels better anyway. How are you lads? Are you all right?
Yeah, it smells better. Glad to have you on, like you say. It's all good fun. We've just been looking at the first race, the 115 on Haydock. So I kind of went for Parkhill Dancer. These two have followed Daryl Jacob in blind and just gone for his rides all the way through the card by the sounds of it on Can Funnock. I mean, have you managed to have a look at it? What are your thoughts on the winner?
Well, if you can see behind me, I've got my lights up here for the same colours as my nap for the whole week. And I'm bang on the money with the lads.
Oh, I
deep dived into the race because I love races like this, especially a Haydock and Ascot. Big handicaps over 2 mile 3. So an interesting stat to see, over the last 12 years, 11 different trainers have run this race. I thought I'd just seen that looking through earlier on. I think that's a bit mad. The only trainer who won it twice was Ewan Williams. But I pulled out some decent enough winners. Warlord, Tommy's Oscar 2 years ago. Last year, Stainsby Girl, who's in here again. She's got to carry an extra £9, a lot, £9 more than last year. If you take the claimer off, I think Parkhill Dancer could be very well handicapped. He's in great form, isn't he? He's 40% strike rate.
Yeah,
but I do really fancy Can Funnock for your mate Daryl Jacob. I think he's a stone in easy. Yeah, he was smashed last time out of Perth against Giovinco, who we all rate Giovinco. I think he's a top 3 miler. And I don't think Can Funnock is a 3 miler. I think Crawford's learned that too after that run. I mean, there's no disgrace getting smashed by Giovinco. I feel like he's going to be a top graded horse. But he won a handicap at Nice, beating Lucky Max and Cashback. Lucky Max hasn't gone on to do much, but they're handicapping that horse out of the boards. They are just getting that horse's ratings down. They are not even trying on that thing. But Cashback next time outran Mr. Policeman, who won in a cancer. Mr. Policeman won very easy. But the 3rd and 4th that day have come out and won very nice handicaps. Phil Dudairies and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. It's a decent horse anyway. I think it's a Willie Mullen horse. Phil Dudairies and someone else. They've both come out and won nice handicaps. I think that's the form to be behind here. Lucky Max is now rated 140 and Cashback's now rated 136. So I think that form's definitely the best way to go. But it's weird because you look at it here, he's got by far the best form in the race by a country mile. He's unbeaten on soft ground. He's unbeaten when going fresh. He's got Daryl Jacob on, who's a master around Haydock. And they've only given him a rating of 128. And Cashback and Lucky Max have been given 140 and 136. I know they've ran a lot more since, but they haven't really showed up. He's going off 11 stone 3. If he was going off 11 stone 11, I'd still be having a good bet on him. I think 11 stone 3. I've had a look. I'm no scientist, but I'm trying to work something out. I don't know. What is he, 11 to 2, 5 to 1? He's off 11 stone.
9 to 2 at the moment.
9 to 2. The only worry is Crawford is... He's in terrible form, and he does target this weekend. He has always been a slow starter, Crawford, hasn't he? Especially during the start of the season. That would be my only worry, but he does get horse at primed. But I think 128 carrying 11 stone 3. I think it's a very, very good bet. I'm not one to have a better in each way, better 5 to 1. But for those who do, I can't see him outside the top 3. I see him going very close. He love the conditions. So yeah, kind of fun. It's hopefully a start man and Joe's day off with a bang on Saturday.
Is this the 4-timer, James?
Yeah, obviously, I quite like Parker. I kind of feel bad now not having the 4-way for Daryl. He's probably going to be. He's just texted me now saying, "What are you playing at?" Because obviously I'm not pally with him now. But, the only thing that kind of put me off was maybe the ground. Obviously, anytime he's run on good to soft, he's kind of not fully won. But like you say, it was against Giovinco, good to soft. But
we are due rain tomorrow as well. We're due a bit of rain tomorrow. Someone tweeted me. I said there was rain tomorrow, and someone tweeted me saying there wasn't. But
I've just checked the Met Office literally right now before you come on. It does say no rain at all. You got maybe a tiny bit tonight, and then that's it. So
I'm looking at the wrong.
Drying out a bit more.
Yeah, or maybe.
When we had Daryl on, he said a lot of the time. The past few years anyway, the course has got it wrong on the good side. So if he says soft, it's normally good to soft. Do you think if there was no rain at all and it kept drying out, do you reckon they'd put a bit of water on? Because if it's gone from heavy.
The water is that.
It's gone from heavy.
I think it'll just be good to soft. It'll probably just be good to soft, which means
it's a big risk. It's tough, and yeah, I wouldn't be. I don't think anyone would be chancing that.
There's times when see these meetings where they maybe water it, and then suddenly there's a rain.
No, but that's what I mean. They always seem to do it. Wouldn't surprise me.
It's not Cheltenham, Joe.
I can't wait for him is it to be a dry day tomorrow and it's good ground on Saturday and they pull Braveman's game out. I will cry my ass out laughing. I'll tell you that for free. Protectorat just walks around. Walk over for Protectorat. Yes, please, thank you. So yeah, that's 3 for Calm Fun up then, and then I'm gonna chance Parkhill down. But I do agree. Calm Fun's got a really good chance.
Would he?
Could have a form boost if Better Days Ahead wins that. I think Better Days Ahead that first race on Saturday in Ireland. So if he wins that, was that tomorrow? Rich, Better Days Ahead.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, so if he wins, obviously that's a bit of boost for that bumper. I remember I was on Better Days Ahead that day when he got beaten that bumper. I'm fuming, but yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to do a couple of these comments. A few people that have jumped in. Sean says, "Evening lads, evening Sean, mate. Thanks for jumping into the chat." Craig obviously coming today. Chase oh my god, today I'll go through that. And then obviously we've got John has already jumped into the chat. We're going to get onto this next. He said, "Come on, Apples hasn't taken the easiest route for her first outing over fences. Grey Don and only the trip over fences, and the Mullins are say no more if he sends him over. Not her trip, but needs to run. Hopefully a safe one." Yeah, obviously we're going to get onto this race next, which is the 150 at Haydock. Interestingly, Willie sends over Gilliard de Misneil, which is an interesting Irish raider. Grey Dawn in for the Skeletons, already had a run. Harry on board. Apple away. She's finally out. Unfortunately, obviously, Rocco is not going to make it this season, which is an absolute shame. It's a 5-runner race. I'll come to you first then, Jack, mate. What are we thinking about Mullins sending Gilliard over? Is he going to just win then? Surely he's better than these. What do you think?
No, well, something I do want to pull up there quick. This fits perfect for you, James, because last year it was won by the worst horse in training, Hitman. And the year before... And the year before, it was won by the best horse racing training, Brave Man's Game. So
yes.
So it's I'll be watching that quietly if I was you. No, I'm only joking. I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Nichols has won this 4 times out of the last 6 years. I had a feeling he may have snuck Hermes Allen into this race and started him off here, but he hasn't. So I kept an eye on. He was never ever entered, but I thought that'd have been a nice starting for him. Yeah, sorry, I'm just going on off on one there. I couldn't touch Gaillard Manil at the price over 2.5 mile. He's just too slow. He surely won't have the pace coming off that long running to keep up with these. I don't think, even though he is the classy horse of the race, he probably is the best over 2.5 mile. He took a penalty kick and he's given there enough a stone away to the rest of the field because he won the National Lunch Race. Yeah, I just don't think
£11 away to Grey Dawn and then another 7 on top of that to Apples for obviously the allowance.
Yeah, it's a lot in it. It's over 2.5 mile. He's just so slow. I just don't think, especially that long run in a Haydock, I can see him getting out pace coming around the bends. Apples away. She gets the mare allowance, but I'll be worried about whether she need the run. I know Lucinda normally gets them bang on for this meeting, but she was very disappointing last time. She'd beat by Auntie Bridgie. I'm just questioning whether at 11-4, I'm happy to be proven wrong with those prices. I'm going to side with Great Dawn, and he's another one who did need the run last time out, went third. He's beaten last season, first time out to Weller, Aintree, but then went and won 3 on the bounce. But he was third, and you'll take a lot from that race. He looked the winner at one point, and he just got outstayed by the very, very good horse, and Stay Away Faye. He's been dropped £3 for that as well, which I feel like is very, very nice from the handicapper. Well, not the handicapper, sorry, but yeah, he won't have any issue with the ground. He's won on near enough every single ground possible. He won Ginny's Destiny over the tip on heavy at Cheltenham last season, and then he won at Cheltenham last week. Absolutely bolted. They got a bit lucky. He did fall against Apples away, and I did back Grey Dawn that day. But tell you what, it'd be interesting to see if he did run out where he finished. If the betting would be completely different. But yeah, it's not my most confident pick. It's a boss race. I'm looking forward to this probably more than the Betfair Chase. To be fair, it's a good 3. I know we've got Scipion and all that in there, but it's a good 3 horse race for me. But I'm going to side with Grey Dawn, only because I think Apple Away has got to come out and prove that I know she's at that level, but it worried me first time out for her. Grey Dawn has had the run, and Gaillard Manil, he's just not quick enough. I just don't think he's good enough. He's good enough. I just don't think he's quick enough. That's the only thing I'd be worried about. So yeah, I'd side with Grey Dawn, but I'd have a little bet on him, but it'd just be a watching brief for me, really. I'll have a little bet on him, that'd be about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I agree with everything you just said. I think Apple Away, obviously, we've got a couple of people who watch the podcast who love her and think she's got a good chance. But to be fair, like a couple of them have even said it's maybe even a little bit sharp for her, 2.5 mile. And like you say there, Gaillard, I mean, he needed every single yard of that National Chase, didn't he, that he won at Cheltenham to finally get up. So I just think he's definitely one to be shot at. I mean, he's just
2-1 pace. You see him, he ran against Mighty Potter last season over 2.5 mile and was beat 3.5 lengths. And then he ran against Mighty Potter again he ran against Mighty Potter over 3 mile and was beaten 3.5 lengths. And then he ran against Mighty Potter again over 2.5 mile and was beaten 9.5 lengths. He's just one pace. He's too quick for this short, sharp track for one and over 2.5 mile. I love Gaillard Manil, but he's just not quick enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting they're sending him over here, but I mean, I'm like that as well. I mean, I'll come to you, Rich. I mean, I thought the Grey Dawn in first time offensive wasn't too bad. He was only beaten sort of 2 3/4 lengths by Stay Away Faye, who, to be fair, looks like one of the top staying chasers, or was going to be anyway. I didn't think it were a bad run personally, so I think I'd definitely chance him in here compared to the other two off the long breaks, and I do think it might be a little bit sharp for them two, to be honest, especially on good to soft. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only question for me, is the trip going to be too short for Apples Away? I can't have Gaillard Manil because he's as slow as an old boat. He needs about 3.5 miles.
And the rest.
I was going to side Apples Away, but John's been giving the excuses early, so he's kind of over me a little bit. But, she gets a lot of weight. I think that's going to be quite key here. She's probably got more pace than Galliard, so it's definitely between her and Grey Dawning for me. It's a tough one. Grey Dawning did beat Ginny's Destiny, who won at Cheltenham at the weekend, so he's kind of franked that form. It's not a massive betting proposition for me, but I'll go with Apples Away. I'll side with John, and we'll.
I can't believe it. Rocco's been in hospital 1 week and already you've jumped ship straight to Apples Away. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Come on then, Joe. If you say Apples Away, I don't know what I'll say.
It's a tough one for me. I've just seen John's comment there.
What's he put? Hang on. John's number one fan of Apples Away. He's put, if he gets to the front and has an easy lead, watch out. Well, we shall see. Go on, Joe.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same boat as all of you, really. Talking about boats, Gard de Manil, they took him the Grand National trip, 4 mile 2, seemed to need further, 3 mile 6.5, 3 mile 6 at Cheltenham, needed every yard of that and every sort of inch of the incline on the hill. So I think it's very strange coming here, to be honest. Looking at Grey Dawning, beat Ginny's Destiny, obviously everyone said that. But he was about 8-11 earlier on in the week until Gard de Manil was actually submitted into this race. Gard de Manil's got too much weight to concede round here. It's way too sharp. It's way too fast. Maybe on heavyish ground, you'd have might said slog it out, but no, I think for me, at the prices now anyway, Apple Away's into 5-2 in places, Grey Dawning 2-1. I don't think Grey Dawning was disgraced on his first run out of the season. He was a bit sloppy jumping wise, but I don't think it was a standoutly bad round of jumping really for a first time out. Like Jack said, dropped 3 pounds, won over 2 mile last season. And that was good to soft. So it has a bit of speed as well. I've got to go Grey Dawning for the simple reason of I don't want to back Apple Away first time out against Geldings, and Gard de Manil's too slow conceding that much weight, and that's literally it. It's like just crossing them off.
You need pace at Haydock as well. You see this so many times. Horses just kick on and they're just not for catching. Haydock's one of those tracks, and you need pace behind you. And that's one of the reasons why I went for Dawn as well. He's quick, and I know over 3 miles he was quick. He just got outstayed, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good race. Like you say, it's going to be a good one to watch, and we'll see with anticipation just how well Apple Away does, if she's ready to go, whatever. But I think it's like anything. I think if she does get beat, there'll clearly be excuses, and to probably give her the chance of one run and then see how she goes after that. But yeah, it's been interesting. I know a few people mentioning, the Mare's Chase and things like that, but I don't know I think she needs at least 3 miles, so we'll soon find out, lads. We'll soon find out. So that's pretty much full house for Grey Dawning, and Turncoat Rich has gone to Apple Away. Right then, so we're going to move on then to the 220. This looks like a really good race. The serial winner Stayers handicap over 3 mile and a half a furlong. The favourite in here currently is Crambo. For Fergal O'Brien, Slate Lane, Irish Raider for Emmett Mullins, Lord Snooten, Dubrovnik Harris in here, Fine Mine, a few others in there, Gold Road, Emmett-Tom. It's a decent looking field. I'll come to you first, Joe. Who are you naming? I quite like the favourite, currently Crambo, and I'll get onto him in a bit. Who are your thoughts?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I'm in the same camp as you with Crambo, to be honest. I know Jack said, you need a bit of speed round here. And Crambo's won over shorter distances, very not ground dependent at all, shall I say. Sorry, one on heavy, one on good soft on the latest out in 2 mile 4. I think the horse should improve for the distance. He looked to me to win it as easy as anything last time out. And if you go back to last season, the form of the Turner's Mersey Novice Hurdle was pretty solid, to be fair. I'll just go back and I will name a few horses. You've got Springwell Bay. You wear it well. Let's be clear about it. Hermes Allen, Irish Point, all finished in front of him. They're top class animals. And then he comes out first run this season and wins as easy as you like, really. I think this horse is a lot better than the mark he's been given. Connor Brace is riding out of his skin, 27%. Percentage winners, shall I say, sorry. 3 winners out the last 11. And the yard aren't doing too bad either. I think this horse is incredibly well handicapped tomorrow, for Saturday, looking down the horse in here. And, one thing I haven't seen yet is a big gamble from a big price. Sometimes you see them this part of the season, so close to Christmas, but we haven't seen that. I think this horse is too good for these, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to be a good horse to win it. Like, he's carrying 11 stone 10, which is obviously be tough, but I do think he's good enough. I mean, you go back to that race that you mentioned there, the Irish Point one. He was actually quite badly hampered as well. I went back and watched it again. He was travelling well enough and just got hampered, and that was sort of his race done. But I just think he looks like an animal that's going to really improve, and I think the step up in trip will be sound. They obviously could have gone to Ascot, but they've decided to come here instead, and they don't mind it. So I think, like I say, good to soft, or if it does get a bit worse or whatever, I think he'll be fine on it. Me personally, I really like Crambo. I think Thurgo's got him saying a good one. I thought the run at Aintree, the reappearance was impressive. He kind of won easy as you like, really. He was sort of pressed a little bit, but still you could tell by the jockey's hand movements, he was just he knew what he had under him. He knew he had him covered the whole way to the line, and I just was really impressed. And I'm hoping that he does go on win. I've had a decent little bet on him. I got 5-1 earlier in the week, anti-posts, and now he's been declared. That's good. So fingers crossed he goes there and wins. But I'll come to you, Rich, and I'll finish on you, Jack. I mean, are you with Crambo? Have you managed to have? I mean, I can't have Slate Lane. I don't think he'll win. But what are your thoughts, mate?
No, I mean, it's a close one. I mean, I'd maybe side with Crambo, like you say. Winner at Aintree last time out. At Aintree back in April, he was a half length behind Springwell Bay in that race. I mean, I think they were both finished 6th and 7th, but Springwell Bay has again won out Cheltenham last week, so a bit of a form boost. Yeah, I think it's between him and Slate Lane. I've just had a quick look at Slate Lane, trained by Emmett Mullins, and it's very interesting. I mean, his last race was on the flat at Leopardstown over 1 mile 2 on heavy, and then prior to that in September, he won at Newton Abbott over 3 miles 2. So who knows with Emmett Mullins? He's the one I'd be probably wary of. But I'll stick with you. I'll go with Crambo for this one. But
go on, Crambo. Come on then, Jack. Let's make it 4 from 4. I can see the little smile on your face. Either that or it's something different.
No, sorry, lads. I will say there's a lot of ways to look at this race. I was looking at Crambo. I was very close to picking him. Remember Fergal O'Brien saying in his stable tour that at the start of the season, Crambo will have a run. He'll win that, and then he will go straight to the Stayers handicap hurdle. Haydock. He went and won Santos Blue by a nose at Aintree, but he had a lot left in him. I had a nice forecast. I had a nice forecast on the Crambo and Santos Blue, and although it was a nose, I was never not confident Crambo was going to get his head in front of it. He always looked like he was going to win. I think he'll come on a lot from that run. But his run in the Mersey at the Grand National meeting that's worked out really well, hasn't it? Like you just said. I know Emmett Mullins has another shrewd, well handicapped horse in Slate Lane who's been smashed off the doors. I remember Joe said to me was it Monday or Tuesday, Joe? You mentioned Slate Lane, didn't you? It opens up like 9 at 8-1. It got absolutely smashed in.
Right away.
Yeah, but I'm going to try and look elsewhere at the prices. I'm going to try and look a race like this. I'm going to try and look elsewhere. I'm going one for the bigger price, so I think it will go close. Harlem Mad Murdoch. He's 20-1. I backed him yesterday at 14-1. He's drifted out to 20-1, so it's not the ideal start, but we'll see how that gets on. But I think he'll shorten because he will go. Everyone hears what I have to say because he should be half the price going on what we've seen so far. He's 5 runs all coming on soft, and he's got form figures of 1, 1, 2, 1, 5. The 2 I'm willing to put a line to because he jumped awful, struggled with the gallop, and he just didn't enjoy himself whatsoever. He did stay on fit for second, but it wasn't the same horse as what we've seen. But his last win, he won a horse called Himino AA or Himino R. I don't know how you pronounce it. But for anyone watching, I get that horse in your tracker because I do think that horse will pick up a few good races, races this season. That's one of my horses to follow. Himino R. Himino
sure?
AA.
I backed that horse. Did you not see it jump a fence last time?
Yeah, I seen it, but I think there's a good horse in there. I think he'll pick some good races up. But they finished 35 lengths. He won Himino. I want to say Himino AA. He beat Himino AA. Yeah, and he finished 35 lengths clear of a horse called Regard, who come out and bolted up on his debut last week at Huntington. But our horse, he needed to step. He needed to step up and trip. He needed it badly, and he stepped him up straight into a Grade 1 at Aintree at 50-1. The race won by Apples Away. I forgot what the race is called now. And he finished 3 lengths behind Stay Away Faye and 4 lengths behind the Rocco, who to me is a very good. And for me, I personally think they're very good Grade 1 horses and will be. That is good. I feel like that form's better than Crambo's form at Aintree. I feel it's tight, but I feel that's a better form to go off. The worry is, Hardy running off a mark. He is off top weight, so they may just get him in there, but he's got to be here to win. The horse is a very good horse. For me, I think he stands a good chance at 20-1. I'd be rather playing him at 20-1 than any other one in there. I know I did like Crambo, but if you give me a father right now to put on about either of them, I'd put on Hallam, Mad Murdoch at 20-1. So I'm going to side with him, but I understand where you lads are coming from with Crambo because he is a good horse. This is the race that Fergal's planned out for him since the summer. He's training for this race. The prep run went perfect. He won Santos Blue. He'll absolutely piss up against Santos Blue now. He'll probably finish 4 or 5 lengths ahead of him. That was just the prep run. Santos Blue was actually there to win at Aintree, and he was beat. And I think because he was beat, he threw him in here to see how he gets on. I can't see him running that close again against Crambo. So I do fancy Crambo to run well, but I couldn't back him at the price. I think Hallam Mad Murdoch is very overpriced. I think he will shorten on the day. Hopefully he gets single figure prices on the day. So yeah, you're going to go with an each way on Hallam Mad Murdoch.
No, like I say, I mean, it's a fair point. It's a fair pick. I like it. I mean, like I say, the form in behind Stay Away Faye is quite strong. So there's no reason why he ain't going to run well. Like I say, he's a big price. So why not? And if Crambo necessarily don't turn up, it's there to be won for everything behind. So we shall see, boys. Love it. Right then. You what, Joe?
What's next?
So we're going to move on to Ascot next. We're done with our A-Dot card.
The 142 at Lingfield.
So on to the all-weather we go.
Shut in.
Well, I've actually done a bit of a graphic for the next race, but I think the prices might be a touch out of thingy. But we're going to do the Betfair Chase next. The 3 o'clock at A-Dock, 4-runner race, and this is my fancy graphic. You ready for this, boys? Oh, the Betfair Chase market. You've got Brave Man's Game, 4-5. Well, currently 10-11. Protectorate heading at 9-4, but has been backed in again into 2-1. Oh, money's coming back for him. Royal Pagaille, 7-1, and Correct Rambler's in there. You can get as big as 11-1 for Correct Rambler. Right then, boys. Who wants to go first on this? Do you want to go first, Rich, since you're the biggest fan? Oh, mind you, Joe, you're now the biggest fan of Brave Man's Game, aren't you? Even though he's been beat 3 times, last 3 times he's lost. Go on then, Joe. Fill us in, mate. Who's going to win?
Brave Man's Game. To be fair, if Brave Man's Game didn't come here, which, a couple of weeks ago we were saying no chance, he ran at Weatherby, you'd be saying, Protectorate would probably be 4-9 and no one would be really talking about the race, to be honest. Would there have been a procession? But Brave Man's Game's here with Daryl on board. Daryl said he is the best English chaser. To be fair, if Brave Man's Game come here fresh, I would have probably said it'd be a lot closer. But with him having his prep run, he must have come out of that well enough for them to send him here. And I just think, they're not bringing him here for a jog round. And I think it's a strange bit of placement because I know that the going's got a bit easier here, but obviously come to win. Protectorate's prime for this. You know, a tough race now. Would it set up well for the King George? I don't know. There's no doubt here Daryl Jacob will be throwing the kitchen sink at this. Dan Skelton did mention that their pool runner form is a bit of a worry. However, the No Protectorate's the best he can be. You know, it will be a good race. You know, for a fact, you're going to get a run from the top two. The bottom two, I can't really give a squeak, to be honest. Korak Rambler, you know, a very good handicapper, but there is a huge difference between, you know, the Grand Nationals and your stuff like that, and then you know, your Gold Cup horses. There is a massive difference. I just can't see Brave Man's Game beaten, to be honest, you know, around here. The absolute unbelievable horse. My favourite horse in training by far. Actually, my favourite horse behind Making Headway.
You're a complete money mercenary, Joe. That's all I'll say about that.
Is he doing Haydock, Making Headway?
What's that, sorry?
Is Making Headway going Haydock?
Yeah, he is, mate.
He's going Haydock. Yeah, it was declared. I mean, we were going to talk about that first race, to be fair.
He was on Sunday, wasn't he? Or was it Sunday as well, yeah?
He was entered on Friday, I think. But they're coming here instead, yeah. Unfortunately, you know, big shout out to him, but Craig isn't leading him round, but I'm sure he'll do the yard proud. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I think, you know, I do like Brave Man's Game here. I think he's a hell of a price at 10 to 11.
Well, I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? Like, obviously, I mean, I backed Protector at Antipost at 3-1. I thought I was on an absolute banker there. And then the news has obviously come about that they're going to take Brave Man's Game here, which in a way is good because I think we do want to see the horses run more. And I do think that coming to these races is the best thing to do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the first Grade 1 of the season for the chasers, so he should be in here, really, anyway. So people talk about horses not running enough. Well, this is what we want. So in a way, it is good. And obviously, luckily, me and Rich managed to get on at 5-1, so we're covered either way. What price did you get, Joe?
Me, 6-4.
Right, yeah, so good value there at least. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Very points on James.
I've got both. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, the ground is a weird one, isn't it? I mean, obviously, it's good to soft now. I think it'd just be fine for either, to be fair. If they get a little bit of rain tonight, I mean, if he gets his jumping in a rhythm, he's obviously...
It's raining now.
You what, sorry?
Raining now.
It's raining right now. We're on weather watch. It's chucking it down.
Me and Joe be messaging each other each day saying, Joe's messaging me every day, what's the weather like? What's the weather like?
You've got a comment there, Woodsy, from Simon.
I mean, I'd be more worried about it going too good. They might think I'm not going to run they're not going to run him on that and jar him up. Yeah. But it's a weird one. Obviously, he got beat in his reappearance in the Charlie Hall. He's been beaten the last 3 times he's run. So obviously, good form for the best so-called chaser in England. No, obviously he's up there. He's the best we've got at this side. So hopefully he does run well. But obviously Skelton coming out and kind of getting an excuse in a little bit. Before it was it would take a good one to beat him. Now it's, well, my horses haven't been running very well first time out. But you'd like to think, regardless of his form of his first time out runners, that Protectorat is going to be 100% wound up for this. He has got a lot to make up with Brave Man's Game. Don't get me wrong, it's going to be very tough for him. But it's still going to be a good race, and I still think he'll push him. And we know it can throw a mistake in Brave Man's Game, as we've seen in the Charlie Hall. I mean, if he does it again, you just never know, do you, Rich? I mean, you're going to tell me there's no chance of Brave Man's Game going to win, which is fair enough. Take it away.
I mean, have you got a cash out option for your Protectorat bet? Maybe that.
I'm not bothered. I mean, in terms of cash, I've got both covered. I am not bothered who wins. I'm not bothered who wins.
Just take the £2, Woodsy. Just take the £2 and move on.
Brave Man's Game, I win 53p more. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, like Darryl said, he's the best UK stayer we've got over the fences. So, I mean, what more can you say? I mean, yeah, he's already had a prep run at the Charlie Hall. You know, I still think he'd have won that if he'd not misjudged the last.
Nah,
he comes here race fit. It's drying out, will suit him. I mean, he's only got to beat Protectorat, who probably not up to his level anyway.
No.
I mean, yeah, Skeletons aren't really in that much of top form, so again, you've got another excuse there. Like I say, I just don't think he gets beat. I know you said he's lost his last 3, but they were against proper chasers, whereas this field, you just don't think he wins. I mean, Darrell takes over. He's won the race 3 times already, so he knows the track, he knows the race, he knows how to win. What more do you want?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Jack? I mean, is it just going to be one of them where he just wins, or has he got any chance of Protectorat turning him over?
Listen, I wouldn't rule Protectorat out all the way. Everyone ruled him out against Aplutard last season. He turned him over. I knew Aplutard didn't run his race, but everyone seems to be ruling him out. I love Brave Man's Game. I cannot see Brave Man's Game beat. I feel like it's 60% Brave Man's Game against 100% Protectorat. I feel like Brave Man's Game would still win.
What about a 60% Brave Man's Game against 100% Gentleman's Game? That worked out well, didn't
it? Well, yeah. Well,
we're now just at 65% Brave Man's Game.
You know, but Gentleman's Game's a lot better horse than Protectorat as well. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel he's a very, very much better horse than Protectorat. But yeah, I'm going to start Brave Man's Game. I'm on them both for decent prices. I backed Brave Man's Game before the start of the season because I thought he'd missed the Charlie Hall. I remember us saying last time on the last pod I was on, I thought he'd missed the Charlie Hall and come here. So I'm on a very nice price for Brave Man's Game. I jumped on Protectorat at 9-4 like 3 weeks ago, probably more than 3 weeks ago now. So I'm sitting cozy like you would see, but it's a tough ask for Protectorat. Even if he is 110%, it's going to be hard. Although he is the best chaser in England, I do still feel like most people underrate him and don't think he's as good as he actually is because of the, he's running against the likes of Gallop and the Champs. He's like Rich said, he's running against the best chasers in the world. Do you know what I mean? Some of the Irish are unbelievable, and he's not getting absolutely smoked by them. He went all the way with Gallop and the Champs, and Gallop and the Champs just showed us his true class because he's a better horse than him in the Gold Cup. He is the most. I love him. He's the most underrated horse. I feel because for what he does disappoint. He does. Everyone knows he does disappoint. He's like Shishkin in a way. On his day, he is an unbelievable horse, but he can disappoint you. He can let you down. And I feel like that's what you're hoping for, would you, on Saturday? But yeah, it's just a worry if Nichols has just threw him in there because he never won the Charlie Hall to try and get that money, or I don't know. I wouldn't back any of them at the price right now. I wouldn't give anyone a bet. But yeah, a Brave Man's Game for me. I think he takes all the beating. I think the 60% Brave Man's Game turns up. I think he still wins. But again, you cannot, like I said, turn Protectorat down. You can't just, everyone's throwing him out already and thinking he's got no chance. Aplutard's condition, it was a bit on the soft side, but everything come Aplutard's way last year. It's a bit too soft for him. But Protectorat, what did he win by 20, 30 lengths? Something like that. He absolutely blew them away. Aplutard was pulled up, but he's done it before. So there's no reason why he can't do it again. But yeah.
Do you not think that Nichols probably trained him for the Betfair Chase, but then changed his mind when he saw the ground and he undercooked him for the Charlie Hall, and that's why.
That's what I thought. I said this last time to you, didn't I? I didn't think he was going to the Charlie Hall. I thought he'd switch it up, but then it sort of shot himself in the arse, didn't he? Because the ground was woeful at Wetherby, so it's sort of. I bet you any money if you go a week before the Charlie Hall, he'd say he wouldn't go Brave Man's Game. Sorry, I thought I froze then. I sort of sat back thinking I froze. If he could go a week before the Charlie Hall, I bet you any money he'd pull him out of it now. Although it's tough, innit? If he would have won or not against Gentleman's Game, we'll never know. I thought he would have just held on, but you never know. But I thought he should have come here altogether. The only worry is if he has just threw him in here, try and get some prize money, and it's a tough track, Doc, especially when the rain's down. I know it's drying up, but it's a very tough track. It's not the easiest track in the world, I'll tell you that.
Few comments, Woodsy?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking through through his form here. I mean, he was beaten 30 lengths by a Hoy Senior. His last 2 wins were he beat Eldorado Allen 3.5 lengths, and he beat Roper Guy 14 lengths, and he was beaten 7 lengths in the Gold Cup.
He beat your
2.25 lengths by Fast or Slow, and he was beaten by Gentleman's Game as well. I mean, this is the best chase in the UK. You what?
He beat your fancy in the King George, didn't he? Lahon Press.
Yeah, but Lahon Press had his issues that day. Finished lame after, and he took up. You know what I mean? So it's like when you look back, it was a poor race, a poor King George. You know what I mean? Every time he's won, he's had nothing to go.
Did he also beat your fancy Ahoy in the Charlie Hall that year? Was that another?
Yeah, but this is the thing. He beat Ahoy Senior, but Ahoy Senior can't jump. He's a terrible chaser. So he's beating terrible chasers, and that's why he always comes up short against the Irish, because he's just not good enough, lads.
He's just too good.
That said, he probably will be good enough to win this. And as much as I want Protectorate to win, because I think it will be hilarious if he does, I do think he'll probably get beat. I mean, Simon's put a comment here. Does Harry Skelton's form first time out put you off Protectorate? I mean,
that's an excuse. That's an excuse. He knows. He knows what he's got into. He didn't know for 1 minute until probably yesterday or the day before. He didn't have any instinct that Brave Man's Game was going. He thought he's not going. He's not going to go. And now he's like, shit, he's going. And he's throwing the excuse back. He's always been the same.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, some of his horses have been running a bit iffy first time out. I mean, some of the rides have been a little bit like not giving much chance, but I do think he'll have him prepped. He'll have him ready to go, and whether he's good enough on the day, we'll see. It all comes down probably to Brave Man's Game and just how ready to go he is. Like I say, doing the Charlie Hall as well. Did it take anything out of him? That sort of thing. We'll soon find out. But at the prices, it's a leave now. If you're not on an anti-post, I probably won't bother backing in anything in the race. Right, so we'll leave Brave Man's Game in the bin. I mean, we'll leave that race and we'll move on now. Sean's put a comment. We'll come back to this, Sean. He says, can we have a lucky 15 for Haydock? We'll have one selection each. When we finish them, we'll come back and we'll do one selection each for Saturday. And we'll do a bit of a lucky 15. So the 335, then we're going to move on to Haydock. The last race at Haydock, you've got the handicap chase over 3 mile, 1.5 furlong. Famous Bridge looks a nice horse in here. Credo, Doc picked me, Wansdalden, Dork, and a few others. I'll come to you first then, Jack. Kick us off in this chase. Have you managed to have a look? Have you got a winner?
Yeah, I actually really fancied one in this, and I backed it anti-post a few days ago, and he pulled it out. I don't know why, because he was absolutely made for the race. Anyway, that's a conversation for another day. You can tell, gutted over that. But I've just had a brief look. He only got pulled out today as well. But I've had a brief look earlier. Just for the podcast, it's my job. I need to try and pick the winner. I've landed one, Eleanor Bob. It's not a. I wouldn't be telling anyone to go and put all much money on it. What?
626 days.
I know. Just hear me out. Just hear me out.
There was a Nichols runner the other day that won off a 600 plus day. So you never know.
All I'm I tried to look for the winner, and I just can't grab a winner on me. I've landed on it. She was fought to Ellie May, Sam Bella, and what was the other horse? Annie Mack at Aintree. And that was terrible ground. I don't think she would have got any closer anyway, either way, because those horses are miles ahead of her. But she won twice on the bounce there at Fontwell, and on soft ground. I was like, I was looking through the races, and she did look a good horse. Then she fell, and she was on for the 3-timer, all within 8 weeks as well. As Rich just said there, she's been off for a long time. Must have been a nasty fall. But the trainers come out and said she's in fine form. She said she not on change. She's going to go for this race. She's going to try and run a race. If she's not the same horse as she was, then that's fair enough. But everything we've seen on the gallops and the tracks tells us that she's the same as she always has been. She is very well handicapped. I think they were going for the 3-time and she fell. She's been dropped 2 pounds from that. 2 pounds off her last win in March. I reckon she could have won off 120. I think she's off 118 now. Mm-hmm. She's quick enough for sure. She's more of a 2 mile 7 horse than a 3 miler. But Charlie does takes the ride, and he will absolutely go a blistering place up front with her. And he'll try and catch them all out. That's how I'm seeing it. That's the only reason why I picked it, because Charlie Deutsch is on, and she's a huge galloper, and I feel like he could try and sneak this. As we said earlier about quick horses, she's more of a 2 mile 7 horse than a 3 mile 1. Is this 3 mile 1, 3 mile 2, isn't it?
3 mile 1.5.
Yeah. It's going to take a quick horse. I think Charlie does. She'll just try and sneak this and go clear and try and gone. She might get stayed on late. She might run lame. She might run green. I can't see her, but I think she's 14-1. It's unreal fancy. I've looked at her for 20 minutes and fell on it because I feel like if she is back to what she was before she fell, she should be a lot shorter than what she is. And of course, horses need the run, but with the trainer coming out saying that, I know trainers say it all the time, it's a load of shite, but it's the only way I'm siding with the 14-1. I've had a little each way on it, but I wouldn't be telling anyone to go and throw all the money on it. I'd just take a look for yourselves, listen to the lads, see what they think. But yeah, I've sided on Ellen and Bob. I know it's not what you want to hear, but I had a big, massive write-up for me horse earlier on. It's 4-1 favourite. I thought, here we go. There's the winner. It was actually going to be me nap, and he pulled out today by 1 o'clock. I'm gutted. So yeah, I've sort of just fell on Ellen and Bob. Yeah, that's all.
That's fair enough, Jack. I mean, you just never know these sort of races. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit boring here, but I mean, when I went to Wetherby on Saturday, these connections had a treble on the day, and they won the Lucky Last at a big price. So I'm kind of going to stick with Famous Bridge in this one. The race last time was behind the Greenhorn Guerrero horse called Wadini. Obviously, that horse was race fit that day and managed to get up. It was kind of a 4-way dive for the line sort of thing, and they're all within a neck of each other. And that was over a little bit shorter from 2 mile 4, so the step up in trip should suit massively. The horse kind of sort of missed the last, and that kind of set him right back, and he stayed on again, but he just couldn't get there. Wadini had the run on the outside and just stayed on really well to win, and that was his first run over fences, so I thought it was a pretty decent run. It runs off a pound higher here, so I thought I'm just going to stick with Famous Bridge. I really like him, and obviously the connections done me over on Saturday. I can't believe I didn't back the treble because everyone on the course, apart from me, seemed to be on it. So I think of the Lucky Last for Haydock, I think I'll stick with Famous Bridge. So I'll come to you, Rich. Have you managed to pick? I thought, well, to be fair, between him and that Doc picked me, Henry Brooks ride. Obviously, he's on fire at the moment. He's running really well. But no, I sided with Quinlan's ride. Nicky Richards, good trainer. I like him. Famous Bridge, I like the colours. Let's go.
Yeah, I've kind of landed on the same, to be honest with you. Like you say, 4th last time out, but it was literally within a length of the winner. There's not, if you go through it, there's not a lot else for me that kind of stands out. I mean, Jackson and Bob, I mean, she'll be fresh. That's one thing. She'll be fresh.
Be worried she isn't.
But yeah, that's the only, Famous Bridge. I mean, it's a tough race, but there's not a lot of reasoning, but like I say, comes here, race fit, not a lot in it last time, potentially could have won. Like I say, potentially like a neck between 4th and 1st. So, yeah, not a strong opinion.
Fantastic. Well, I think Famous Bridge will win then, so thanks for that, Rich. Joe, are you going to have a triple threat for the favourite? I mean, we seem to be a little bit favourite backies tonight, but some of them are value, some of them obviously we've took on. But who are you thinking for this race? Have you fell on anyone after it's cut up, after the market's declarations and stuff?
Yeah, mate, I've had a bit of a look and I've gone right to the bottom of the weights and I've chose Ballybody for Charlie Hammond and Richard Newland. He was pretty progressive over hurdles and fences. He had 3 runs over fences. He was a 3 mile point-to-point winner. He come 3rd, 1st. Then he had a 2-year layoff and come 2nd. Now, I watched the run, after his 2-year layoff. And it was at Wetherby. This is the description. Towards rear in touch, headway 5 out, pushed along 4, went 3rd 2 out, soon ridden and stayed on well in the final strides. Now, from a 2-year layoff, I think that's perfect. Now, before he had this long break, his first run was at Warwick, where he's beaten 21 lengths in a Class 4 soft handicap chase over 3 mile 1. Then he went to Sandown in the December over 3 mile in a Class 3, not a Class 4, and won by 4 lengths pretty easily. And I just think this horse, improved massively from first run to second run. 2 years ago. Why can't he do it now? He's off bottom weight here. He's 8-year-old, so he's by no means the oldest in the field. I just think this horse at 10-1 off bottom weight, if he can improve off his last run, and to be honest, looking at his last run, I feel like this might have been, a bit of like a target coming back. We'll get him back fresh for this race because I don't think he was given a hard time. I quite like this one, albeit like Jack said, I don't think it'll be, or back this lads, this one will win type of thing. I'll have a few quid on.
Nah, fair enough, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a good little find, that. Like I say, the form's there. We'll see how they get on. Right then, so that'll do us for Haydock then. What we'll do is then we'll come back to Sean's comment and we'll do this. We'll give a lucky 15 for Saturday for Haydock. So we can have a selection each. It can't be odds on. Come on, you're going to have a bit of value, Joe. I'll put Cranbrough in. I think Cranbrough goes and wins, so I think you can get about 7-2. So that'll be my selection for the lucky 15. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. And I'll grab the opener, making headway, 4-1, for the Green Old Guerrero team. Craig, if you're still watching, fingers crossed.
It's a good race, a really hot race, that first one, making headway. We really like him. We could look at the race, to be fair, if you wanted to. So that's Mum for making headway, and Rich or Jack, which one wants to go first? Whoever talks first gets it.
Go ahead, Rich.
Rich, you're muted.
What the best thing about that is, when you do it, the talk and then you go. The face kills me every time.
I go for Carn Funnock for Dal Jacob.
This is a good lucky 15. This, go on then. Jack finishes off with a lucky 15.
I'll go with Royal Pagaille without Brave Man's Game. I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I'll go Brave Man's Game. I know it's boring, but there's nothing else in there. We're trying to get a win, lucky 15, aren't we? So they're all short prices. So I'll just, boring as it is, I'll go Brave Man's Game.
At least one win.
That's you, Sean, getting absolutely nothing back on your lucky 15 there, pal. Fantastic. Right then, let's move on to Haydock, and then we'll look at a couple from Ireland, and then we finish, lads. Obviously, the 130 at Ascot, the 1965 Chase sees the return of Shishkin. He's obviously bottled the battle with Protectorate. Picdory, which is obviously the ride of Harry Cobden, obviously going to Ascot for a few rides in Grade 2s over the Grade 1, which is baffling. Melodrama and Straw Fan Jack. And on that note, Jack, I'll let you kick us off. Is it just a procession for Shishkin? Are you lumping the Shishkin Brave Man's Game double? Is that what you're on?
Yeah, well, I had a few. Yeah, I had quite a big one. I had quite a big bet on that the other day when Brave Man's Game was 7-4. I'm sure you backed it as well, Joe.
Of course I did, mate.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Is that same as how you back Captain Tig, is it?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
Manila Missile, baby.
Did you have any points on?
Go on, Jack, carry on.
I think Shishkin will just absolutely demolish these. I had a look earlier on to see what the price is on the straight forecast, but I couldn't see anyone giving the offer. So I'll probably Brave Man's Game. Shishkin won him by, what was it, 8 or 9 lengths last time over the course and distance.
Yeah,
I can't see Pictory picking up that 8 or 9 lengths. 16 lengths.
Yeah.
So double that. Yeah. So 16 lengths. So if Pictory's got to find 16 lengths on Shishkin, I don't think that's going to happen. And that was after Shishkin having a terrible run in the Tingle Creek way. So it was the Tingle Creek, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah. So even money.
Just over.
That's not exactly. Just over evens. Yeah, that's.
You're OBJ signing into that.
You might as well go for a lens bet, mightn't you? Fucking hell. Yeah. If you're trying to pick anything out. Yeah, so I would never tell anyone to back a horse at 4-7. I wouldn't back a horse at single 4 to present. 4-7. I'm not Johnny Deneen, so I'll probably go the straight forecast. If you can get 6-5, 5-4, I'd back that. Probably, yeah. See, it's all about the anti-poster. When you get races like this, I'm sure Shishkin was like 4 or 5 to 1 the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah, Pictori was 8 to 11 on.
I know, and then when it all cuts up, like Apples Away was 15 to 2 for about 3 days this week for this graduation chase because she was supplemented in 3 different places, and then now she's 11 to 4. It's hard. It's just trying to guess what races like this. It's trying to guess where you think the horse will go and trying to get value on it. So it's hard to tell people to have a bet now. But if I was to have a bet, and I probably will have a little bet on the forecast, probably. Or I'd tell you what, Paddy Power do that. Shishkin to win by over 2 lengths and Pictori to come second. I'll probably have a little go on that. If you can get a price on that, that'll probably be a bet. I'd see Shishkin blowing them away, and the other 2 are crap, aren't they? So, yeah. That's nice and sure for me. That's all I can say on that race.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, I'm in a similar boat. I mean, I backed Pick Dahi. I think it was the Ascot Chase when they faced each other, and Shishkin just demolished him. And I mean, obviously, it is first time out, but it's first time out for both. But I can just see Shishkin, if he's anywhere near sort of 80% fit or whatever, he probably just blows Pick Dahi away. I can see, obviously, Pick Dahi will probably take him along. But if Shishkin gets in any sort of rhythm, obviously, the cheek pieces have gone on for the first time as well, which is interesting. So that could bring out any sort of improvement in him. I mean, you know, he just wins, doesn't he? And I do think it's the sort of race that probably a lengths bet's probably the thing. So we'll be blogger styling by five or more lengths. I think we'll go because they'll probably batter him. I think. What do you think, lads? Joe, Rich, anyone?
Yeah, 100%. Mate. Look, I tell you what. When I read the Racing Post, was it Tuesday now? The owners of Shishkin mentioned this as why would we? And this was sort of what swung it for me. They didn't mention. I know I'm going back to it. They didn't mention Protectorate. They said, why would we take on Brave Man's Game when he's had a prep run on likely softer ground than what's going to be at Ascot for a trip that's probably going to suit better because we don't want a grueler before the King George. I mean, Nicky's made that pretty obvious that his target is the King George pre-Christmas. During the Christmas period, sorry. I'm not going to spend much time on it. Like Jack said, he's got 16 lengths to make up. Where he makes them up from, I don't know. Apparently, he's buzzing. He's bounced off the wall. So, yeah, GSI, Shishkin, Brave Man's Game.
You'll know straight away about Shishkin after his first 2 or 3 jumps if he's up to scratch. Because you can go. If he's popping them, he'll absolutely bolt in. If he questions himself and runs through them, he'll be pulled up. He's an absolute lunatic, isn't he? So you'll know more after the first 2 fences, but I can't see him getting beat.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come to you, Rich. I mean, surely Pick Dahi wins this. I mean, clearly Harry Cobden rates Pick Dahi above Brave Man's Game. That's only why he's chosen to go there and not a grade 1, surely.
I mean, if Shishkin can't win this grade 2, then he's not going to win the Gold Cup, is he? Shishkin's rated 173. Shishkin's rated 173, Pick Dahi 162, Manila Drama 157, Strawfan Jack 141. I mean, it's not great, is it? I'm just looking on Sky. They're doing their offers. Shishkin Brave Man's Game double 9 to 4. Shishkin to win by 5 lengths or more, and Pick Dahi to finish second 2 to 1. Maybe that's the bet.
Yeah.
What was the double then? What was the double then? Sorry, Rich.
9 to 4 for Shishkin and Brave Man's Game.
Not a bad price.
That's actually a good price, that, isn't it? 9 to 4.
Look, sounds to me like they're drifting out a little bit.
I'm backing Strawfan Jack for Jack. 40 to 1. He's going to piss in.
Yeah,
each way, one place.
I mean, the swerve Haydock because I don't want to take on the best UK stayer, do they? So,
I feel the same about Protectorate, like you say. But
did you see what the Donnelly said? I know Joe just mentioned it there, and when you think about it, it does make sense what Joe said there. But I'm sure it's not even. I don't even think there's $5,000 in it. The difference for the win. For the winnings. No, it does make sense. Give him a prep run for the King George. Go to a far easier race, a far easier track, what he's won at over the course and distance. Again, and he's won his only competitor by 16 lengths. It makes sense for just a slim amount of the winnings in it.
There is
I think. I know. Is there?
The winner of the Betfair Chase gets 112 grand.
Ascot's 56 grand.
The Ascot one is, I don't think it's even that, James.
Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong race. Sorry, hang on.
It's 40, I think.
I don't know where I seen. I must be thinking about another race. I seen
it's 39 grand for the winner of the 1965 Chase and 112.
Either way, I just think looking at the
not bothered about prize money. I can't say the Dolly's being bothered about prize money.
Can owes them nothing really. And to be fair, I think they want the best for the horse, and I think the best for the horse is good to soft round Ascot 2 mile 5 than a grueler 3 mile where you
nobody wants to be chasing Protectorate's tail for 3 mile. You know what I mean? So
the great man's game will just go in front of him and jump him out the way.
Right, we're gonna move on. Shishkin wins. Shishkin wins. Brave Man Game. We'll see. Right then. So I've just deleted that now. You've put me off now, so I don't know where I am. We'll finish with the 205 and then we'll fly through the Irish real quick and then we'll get us naps the next best and then anything else and then we're done because I'm getting hungry. Right then, so the 205, the handicap hurdle, the grade 2 coral hurdle, Goshen comes back in here. Obviously Jamie Moore's not on board. Obviously hope he gets well soon. On a pretty bad injury that and see what he's got, but fingers crossed he comes back sooner rather than later. Theatre Glory's in here, School Royale or So Royale, Blue King Duro for Cobden on board, strong leader. Tough little race here. I'll come to you, Jack, mate. Have you managed to pick one out of this? Is it Goshen?
Yeah. This is a great race. I can't wait for this race. I think this is a proper quality race. Theatre Glory stands every chance. With the mentioned earlier, the form that he's in. But she got beat by Goshen by giving she got £9, I think, off Goshen. And Goshen beat her by about 5-6 lengths. She only gets 6 today, especially when she will need the run. So Royale is 11, so he's too old. Blue King Daru he is the improver. He's only 4 or 5, I think he is.
Oh yeah, he's 4-year-old.
4. He's the improver, but I do question on that form. Is it on par with the rest of these? Strong leader, I couldn't touch. I loved Strong leader last year. I won a few quid on him at Aintree, and he was so consistent. But he just absolutely blew out in the Welsh Champion Hurdle, didn't he? I just couldn't touch him. I don't like runs like that. So it kills me to say that I have landed on Goshen. I've been against him his whole career, but I'm with him now. I just think he just takes all the beating. I think he's by far the best when running right-handed. If you pull his form, I've actually wrote his form down here, right-handed. It's 1-1, 1-1-1, 1-1, 5-4-7, 1-1, 3-1, 2-2. I'll go back to this 5-4-7. I'll just give you a quick stat. They're quick. The last 8 years of the Triumph Hurdle, the winner has come out the next season and not won a race. That is absolutely crazy. And that 5-4-7 was part of the season where I know he never won the Triumph, but he would have, and he fell, and then he didn't win a race the next season. I don't know what it is with the Triumph Hurdle. I think that's why it's crazy, isn't it? I don't know what it is, but yeah. So I'm not willing to put a line through it, but I'm willing to sort of not worry about it too much in case there is something in there. But last time out, he was beaten in the neck by Napazil, who franked that. He won the grade 2, what's the race called? The Rising Stars. Yeah. He won that last week. And then he won Brewing Up a Storm by 9 lengths at Ascot. And Brewing Up a Storm's a very good horse. I know he's old now, but he went up to West Balboa last week at Aintree. And then on Boxing Day, he was second to Paisley Park when I actually backed him this day. And he looked the winner. He took on Champ, and Paisley Park just done Paisley Park things and just stayed and grounded it out. And ends up winning. Not easy in the end, but he ends up winning convincingly in the end. I think his right-hand form, he's a lunatic, but his form right-handed is quality. I think, especially I've got to be saddened with him, especially at the weights. He loves it around Ascot. And I think all these have got to try and get to his level, I feel like I've never ever liked him, but he's a lot better horse than all these. So Royale probably closer to him, and he's 11, so he's way too old. So yeah, I'd be siding with Goshen. I like Goshen for this. I think he's 9-4. I'm not gonna, 9-4. So that's a lovely price for the 5-runner field. It's a great race. Can't wait to see it. But yeah, Goshen for me.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with what you've said there. I think that there's question marks against the other ones. I think, like you say, mate, a mare off a break. Soriol's quite old. Blue Kinder, 4-year-old. I think I'd be wary of a 4-year-old coming into a race like this, and he's got a big step up to come on. And Strong Leader is a bit of a weird one, like I say. I mean, the Welsh champion was a weird one. He kind of just completely bombed out. I mean, you'd have to say it's too bad to be true, but you'd be a brave person backing him off the back of that. I mean, I do think Goshen's probably got the best form in here, like you said there. The run against Nappers Hill was decent, and he's come out in front of the form. I put a line through the Sezowicz run. I mean, it's on the fly. It's one of them. It's a completely different scenario. I know we're well beaten, but it's just a completely different thing. And that was obviously his first run, so you could say they maybe give him a spin in that and see how he went on, and he could be cherried out for this. And I think Niall Houlihan's obviously got a job on his hand, keeping him under wraps. But I think he'll if he puts it all together, Goshen, he's one of them horses that when he does put it together, it can look really, really good. And I just think there's excuses for the other ones, so I think I'll be following you in on Goshen. Bring it on. Did they get him our team? What about you then, Rich or Joe? Philly boots, lads.
I mean, it's Goshen's to lose, isn't it? Like you say, he has to go one way round, and this is it. He won it last year. The only concern I've got is obviously change of jockey now. How familiar is this new jockey on him? Because he is quite quirky, but he should have too much for these. In honesty, so yeah, keep it short and sweet.
Yeah, you same Joe with Goshen, or are you going off track?
I don't know, mate. I'd probably give Theatre Glory a little squeak. Just
everyone's eyebrows like
that. looking through the race, I mean, looking at the last race, Theatre Glory's obviously 6, Goshen's 7. So he's getting a bit of weight there. I know Jack mentioned before he was getting £9. Now he's getting 5. Sorry. No, is it 6? Yeah. But when you look through Theatre, I mean, there's good going in the description now. When there's good going, Theatre Glory's ran 7 times and he's won 6. He's beaten a length against Goshen on soft ground. And I just think he was a bit short of room. It was a bit of a messy race. It was soft ground. I think Theatre Glory wants it a bit better ground. To be honest, it is Goshen's to lose. But I just think with the jockey change, he's an absolute nutcase. I'll let him. I won't have a bet in the race. I'll let him go off 9-4, and if he wins, I'll be happy. To be honest, because I think the owners have been quite unlucky with him after his fall in the Triumph. Sorry, yeah, and then not really reaching the potential that everyone thought he would go on to achieve. It's a more. I would like to see him win. I won't be betting on it. I would like to see him win, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Theatre Glory following him home.
Yeah, it'll be a good race. Fingers crossed Goshen goes and wins, and we'll see what happens. Right, well, so we'll leave it at that then for the UK races. We'll have a quick spin over in Ireland just to mention the top race. Obviously, there's some really nice horses out. So what I'll do is, rather than kind of just go, I'll just name a couple of horses that are going to be running this week, and you can all sort of give a say if you think it's going to win. So, because obviously there's a few good horses out. So, quick thoughts on Gaelic Warrior. Is he going to win on chasing debut?
Wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 49 on. He should probably win. The 123, obviously, Flooring Porter's back out. He won it on chasing debut. He's got Affidel Fury, Favour de Champdu, Sandoc Gaines in there because Calixios. I mean, he's going to do well if he goes and wins this. I mean, a quick thought on that. Jack, I'll come to you. A quick thought. Do you think Flooring Porter can win that?
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I think he should. I don't think he'll win today, but I think there's a nice grade 2 at Nice. Devil's Coachman won it last year. I think the Flooring Porter will go there and then win that, and I think he'll miss Cheltenham and go to Aintree. That's what I think Flooring Porter will do. I don't think he'll like it round here, so I'm going to side with Sandor again, but this is another quality race. This is all like every single horse in here, even Maxim, stands a quality chance in this. This is a proper race. In Ireland, you always get the handicappers who are just out there to try and get a mark, sit at the back of the telly and just jog home. But this is a race where any of them could win, really, innit? So I probably side with Sandor again. I think he ran a solid enough race last time out, over 2 mile. So, yeah, back up to, was it 2 mile, 2.5 mile? 2 mile.
2 mile.
Yeah, 2 mile, yeah. I'd probably start with Sandor again. I think if he's the improver, that Albert Bartlett form again. I really like that Albert Bartlett form this year. I think there's a lot to like about it. So, yeah, I'd start with him.
Nice. And what about you two? Do you think Florian Porter can do it? I wonder if he gets beat, does he go back over hurdles? Maybe we'll see.
He might do. I don't know. For me, Florian Porter's a weird one. He was always campaigning for Cheltenham. You know, it was notorious. He didn't really, go and win throughout the season. Then he'd pop up at Cheltenham and win, or there'd be a target for him. Obviously, he won first start. Chase and debut, and I thought he was pretty impressive. To be honest, I think he could go and win this pretty easily. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go and beat these. I'd give Sandor again a mention. Like Jack said, the Bartlett form's good. This is a proper race. Maxim started off pretty low, didn't he, in the weights as a handicapper? And then all of a sudden strung a few wins together, and now he's in this. I think it's an interesting race. I'll definitely be watching from Haydock.
Perfect. Rich, quick note on him.
Yeah, I mean, he wins, doesn't he? I mean, Broadway Boy came second to him last time and bolted up by 20 lengths at Cheltenham, so what more can you say?
It's good form. Like I say, I think they've got him going well over offensive. If he doesn't,
the only worry, he can't run right-handed. That's the only worry. He said he never run right-handed, and for some reason they're running right-handed. So it just doesn't make sense to me why they are running them. I feel like they still won't run them. I don't think they will run. I think they'll send him to Nace in December and then go for the grade 2. It's weird because he said after Cheltenham he can't run right-handed. We need the left-handed track. But then
he'll right-handed over Chase.
Yeah, but then his next time out he's running right-handed over fences. I still don't think he'll turn up.
Well, we'll soon find out. Last thing on that day, Punchestown, obviously the Morgiana hurdle, obviously another race that's cut up pretty bad. You've got 2 from Mullins, 2 from Gordon Elliott, but it's State Man 1 to 3. I mean, surely State Man just wins this. Echoes in Rain, Pipe, fills the dairies. State Man all the way. No price though.
Yeah, he wins all the grade 1s, doesn't he, in Ireland?
He does, yeah. He'll probably mop them up, and obviously you've got the what's the other one? The Hatton's Grace, probably for him, Perry Pass. But
I've put in my each way bet for this weekend.
1 to 3 each way, 2 places, fantastic. And the last one, obviously, Galloping the Champ on Sunday in the John Durkin makes his reappearance. You'll be back in fast or slow, won't you, Joe?
I wish I was on him the day I joked on here, by the way. 33 to 1 or something, won he? Paul Palmer. State Man, well, don't be that sure.
Oh, so we've got a comment here from a guy called Paul Palmer. He says, "Who's the Scouse?" All right, mate. That's Jack. He's from Racing Interest. He's a good lad.
Who's that?
It's just a lad called Paul. Don't know him, Paul, but thanks for jumping in. I work for Willie Mullins, and if you look at the racing post, John Deneen, never forget me. It's a long story, but they all know. I can't read that. They all know it in Carlo, including G Willie. I'm not sure I really understand what you're trying to say there, Paul.
Rewrite it.
If you rewrite it for us a little bit, we'll pick it back up. But you've also said, State Man, well, don't be that sure.
You sure you're watching Willie's yard?
Well, who knows then? We'll soon find out. I mean, you never know first time out. I mean, we're not backing him.
Well, he thinks I know Willie Mullins. Just mention it.
Oh, yeah. Why? What's his play?
Yeah, just mention me to Willie.
That's why I just mentioned me to Willie.
Yeah, I get what he's saying now. He said if you look on the racing post, Johnny Deneen, he'll never forget me. It's a long story, but tell Willie. I don't know why he thinks I know Willie Mullins, but I just like his horses.
That's really we'll speak to him at the DRF.
I'm going over to Haydock to walk Adam McNeil around for him.
Right, so what we'll do then, lads, that'll do us for tonight. We'll finish on. I mean, have you lads got anything else before we do naps and next best?
Yeah, and I've got a few. Sorry, just to go back on that John Durkin. I'm still waiting on a price on the exchange, but I don't think fast or slow will place. I think he'll be pulled up. He's over 2.5 miles. He's got no chance. He needs 3 mile at least. And I've done Statler without Galloping the Champs, 7 to 1, 6 to 1. I've done that as well. But do you want me to go with anything else there quick?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, fly through them, and then the other lads can, and we'll have a nap and next best, or next best and nap best.
Yeah. So I've got an actually fancy one tomorrow. Anti Bridgie running at 3 o'clock at Catterick. He actually beat Apple away last season. He makes his second start over fences. He's really eye-catching last time as well. He's in a field that's not really up to much. He's 100 to 30. I think he's definitely worth the bet. I think he'll go close tomorrow. 2 o'clock at Ascot tomorrow. Risk and roll. Don't be going nuts on this, but I'll play the small each way on it because he could be there for run out and to get his rating and his weight down. But he is already off a juicy mark. So if he is there to try and win, he will go close. I feel he's 20 to 1. And then the Bournemouth ones on Saturday, the Barrymore winner, Barry Byrne, he runs on his hurdles debut. He'll be no price, but it'll be great to watch some greatness. And then at 12, you notice that 12 at Punchestown, you got the Albert Bartlett winner as well. So 2 Cheltenham winners for the price of 1. Tully Hill, he's starting over 2.5 miles. He has entered in the same race as Barry Byrne over 2 miles, but he won't go. And they'll both run within 25 minutes of each other, and they'll both win, and they'll both be odds-on favourite for the Bartlett and the Ballymore.
Joe's absolutely crazy. Paul's in the comments, obviously. There's some nice horses there. We're certainly looking forward to them. I'm not really understanding what he's putting here, but we're going to see if you can understand this, Jack. He says you sound like you're from Kirby. Does that make sense to you?
I'm definitely not from Kirby, no.
No, here's a true story, Norwich Green Scouts. Does that make anything to you? We're not sure what you're on about, Paul, but...
not from Norwich Green either. Their places in Liverpool, but incorrect twice. Try again.
Right, anyway, thanks for... What's he putting here? What's he putting here? Shuns Barley.
Hey, that's Joe on his burner.
We love you, Paul. Thanks for jumping in the comments there. Rich, have you got anything else?
Yeah, I'll name a few. You've got Mr. Policeman tomorrow. Everyone's talking about him on Twitter, expecting big things. What else we got? DB Cooper runs at Fairy House in the bumper. He was quite an expensive recruit for Gordon Elliott, so again, one to look out for. Ascot 125. I'm quite looking forward to in the Waterside. Trying to boost that Jaguar form. One I like at Captrick 1240 Union Flag. Won his second start over hurdles. Has to carry a penalty, but I thought that was a quite decent win last time out. What else we got? Flooring Port, you've already mentioned. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've got, I think.
Fantastic. And Joe, I mean, Simon's put a comment here. Surely Paul wins the free bet, Jack.
Paul.
Joe, have you got anything else for the weekend before we do next bests and naps?
No, mate. Obviously, Anti-Bridgie runs tomorrow. For me, have you put any points on it, James?
Yeah, I backed Anti-Bridgie tomorrow. I think she's got a great chance.
Yeah, I think she's got a brilliant chance tomorrow.
She ran pretty well last time out, and I quite like the other one for Greenall as well. They've got 2 nice runners tomorrow. Deception's running again, so I think he's got good form as well. So fingers crossed for him.
Obviously, I know we didn't really go over the race, but making headway, well thought of. It is a tough race. I can't wait for that race, to be honest. Fingers crossed, making a headway. Runs a nice race, only his second run out of the season. So it's a big ask, but, signs are positive. Like Richard there, we've got in the Waterside, Jaguar form. Doddy the Great, I believe, has slightly drifted and the money's come. So that's interesting, and the Waterside's meant to be a brilliant horse. Very, very good weekend of racing. Enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. So what we'll do is then, lads, we'll finish on next best and naps, and I've got a little announcement to finish us off with. So I'll go for my next best. My next best is going to be, what's the name of the chuffing horse now? Famous Bridge. I think Famous Bridge is my next best. What about you, Joe?
My next best is Can Funnock.
Love it. And Rich?
Yeah, Can Funnock for me as well.
Brilliant. And Jack, your next best for the weekend?
Goshen.
And we'll go back around, Jack. What's your nap then? The one that we're going to GSI into, the nap for the weekend?
Can Funnock.
Fantastic. The green lights have been switched on.
By the way, I put those orange on to say Brave Man's Game, but no, I'll keep it nice and pricey for us all.
Brilliant. What about you then, Rich? Who's your nap for the weekend?
I'm going to go for the Brave Man's Game Shishkin double at 9-4 on Sky Bet.
Brilliant. And Joe, and then I'll finish us off.
I'm going to join Rich. I'm Can we bring Paul's comment up? Strong. Oh, he fancies strong leader.
Paul fancies strong leader on Saturday. Fair play. He's also sat on Florida Pearl. Apparently, fair play to you, Paul. Wait till I tell Patrick Mullins you've never heard of Old Lily Bridge. You copied me. Who's copied what, Paul? Anyway, my nap of the weekend's going to be Crambo. I think he bolts up in the stayers handicap on Haydock. So I'm really looking forward to that. Right, that's it, boys. We're finished. What I'm going to do is a little bit of an announcement. Obviously, with a bit of luck, a certain jockey will have a decent weekend because we've obviously had Daryl Jacob on the last Cheltenham anti-post countdown show. We've got another guy coming on this next episode. So we're really looking forward to coming in. And the guy that's going to be coming on is... I don't have a graphic. I wish I did. But Henry Brook. Henry Brook's going to be joining us on the next episode. So he's obviously had some really good winners lately. Jeff Skeel in the Grand Sefton, he won that entry and he's managed to give up a bit of his time to come on our Week 6 episode. So we're really looking forward to that. And we've got some other guests lined up for that. So what do you think to that, boys?
Looking forward to it, mate. Can't wait. Another top jockey on. Obviously, we have that link to the yard anyway. So fingers crossed, you know, they have some winners. We mentioned a few anti-bridgie making headway, and fingers crossed we can talk about them.
Yeah, he's had some good winners lately. He's in red hot form, and we're lucky enough he's going to come on and chat with us a little bit, all things Cheltenham. Right, lads, that's it. Jack, have you decided who's going to have your... Did you say you were doing a free bet, did you say? Surely it's not going to Paul.
Yeah, I'm not Paul. My comments are gone, but the one who said, do you reckon Protectorate, the skeleton form, will... I can't see it now. Where is it? Yeah, there we go.
You have to scroll past Paul first.
Simon.
Skeletons.
Yeah, Simon, the skeleton form. That was a nice question. So,
well, Simon, thank you for joining in the chat and getting your questions in. You have won yourself. How much was it, Joe? Jack?
£2, £20.
A £20 free bet for Simon. Congratulations, mate. In fact, I think Simon even said he wants to donate it to Paul, but I don't think he will now that he knows he's won it. But yeah, thank you everyone for dropping into the chat. It's been an absolute blast. Paul wants to come on. Hang on a sec. Paul's coming on the show. Look, bring me on. I've got loads of tales. We might have you on at some point. Drop me a DM so I know which account to block. So yeah, Sean's put on here. Awesome, brilliant jockey. I always say you get extra few pounds off Henry Brook. You do. He's a great jockey.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. Then when you announced it, he's a very good jockey. You do get a few pounds off on him.
Yeah, he's absolutely flying at the moment. It's great to see, and luckily we're going to get to speak to him, and that's going to be fantastic. So yeah, Simon, cheers, boys. Good episode. Right, well, that's it. Thank you again for joining us, boys. Like I say, like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go to the Cheltenham shows and put your teams in there and join the competition for the bundle that I always butcher. But get loads of prizes, loads of stuff in there. And we'll see you again, obviously, Monday night, probably around 9 o'clock-ish. The episode will be out once we've recorded with Henry Brook. And thank you again, Jack. You got anything like to say before we finish, Jack, for coming on, mate?
No. Thanks for having me. I know I never got a proper introduction because of me stupid booster I paid £42 for on Amazon that clearly doesn't work. But no, yeah, thanks for having me on again. I'm looking forward to Haydock on Saturday with Joe. I know a few of the lads in the group chat are going to come down and say hello to us. So yeah, if you do see us, come and say hello.
Class.
Yeah, have a few pints.
Yeah, if you see the boys, make sure you get them a few pints and treat them to a day out because I'm sure they'll give you a winner in return. And when Brave Man Games Cup gets beat, I want to see a video of you both crying into your pints. So yeah, fingers crossed. Right, boys, we're going to call it a day. Thank you again for joining us. And we will see you all next time. Like and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we'll see you again. Thank you and goodbye.
See you later.